Hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another course vlog. This is round 2 out here. We're back out at Industry Hills, the Eisenhower course. This is a beautiful track out here just outside of Los Angeles. Don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. If you haven't already, I'd love to have you back here week after week. Let's take you out there to the first tee. It's a par 5, wraps around the corner to the right. Here we go. One of the first course vlogs I featured here on the channel was the IKE course here at Industry Hills, and we're back to give you a little bit better perspective of the course and to see if we can attack it again. Here, the first hole is a big dogleg right down the hill and around the corner. Split all these bunkers and don't go too far into the water off the tee to hopefully open yourself up into the green for your second shot. Now, that bunker short right of the green will protect any kind of a layup because you do want to get it off to the right-hand side to play around that big tree that's protecting the front left of the hole. And today, we're facing a front left hole location, so it is very paramount to get your tee shot in the fairway to get a clear shot into the green. Well-protected green elevated up here on the hill. Was able to get the drive to pinch around the corner here, and because if I hit it straight, it's going to go straight into that water. Just a 6-iron here up the hill to a 190-yard stick, and you know, at this point when I was playing this round a few months back, I was going through some adjustments with my distances and not realizing really how far my clubs are starting to go. 190 yards is now a 7-iron for me, and well, that 6-iron went about a club long here, so feeding the eagle putt down the hill. I wasn't going to chip that. There was no way. It was smooth enough to putt it. And, you know, a little 6-footer up the hill for birdie to start this round off right. Or you can just hit a terrible putt and get a little comfy tap-in par to start the day. And number 2 here is going to be falling right off the hill all the way down to the green. Now, it's a deceiving yardage at 380 yards. You're just going to be plunking one down into this fairway short of the water. For me, 3-wood and driver are too much club. It's going to be going into the water there. So I'm just going to be hitting a 2-iron out into the fat of the fairway down on the right. And if you're down there, this hole actually becomes blind. It's uphill from the bottom of the fairway. Well, first things first, let's get that 2-iron down the middle. I mean, it's completely blind off the tee here. You just got to hit it and hope you got your distance right. I'm in the fairway. Just a simple sand wedge up onto the green. And that shot tracer wanted to follow my divot, not my golf ball. So that golf ball was just fine on the way to the stick and just short of it here on the fringe. Another one that was pretty makeable that I did not get to go in. It's another comfy tap-in par, but 2 disappointing looks at those birdies. Now, number 3 here is the opposite of number 2. We're going to be going right back up the hill. So 350 yards adjusted for the hill is going to be a good 380 to 390 yards. Off the tee here, a driver is a little bit too much for me. It's going to be bringing all that trouble into play. So I'm going to be throttling back here with another 2-iron. And coming into the green, it's another blind one. It is way up the hill from the fairway. You're definitely going to be adding a club, and you can't see any of that trouble up there. Now, it's really important to be on the left side of the fairway here to have any kind of an angle into the green. The right side is pretty sloped all the way down, but ultimately it's kind of a big funnel fairway here. Now, I took an 8-iron from 157 yards, which is a soft 9-iron distance, and this thing flew plenty all the way up and over the green. It landed just short of the traps, though. I was able to try to get this one up and down for par. It just rolls out past the hole here. These greens are plenty tricky to deal with. And to be honest, this is probably one of my favorite golf courses in the entire LA area to play, even though it normally beats me up every single time. But that par putt was able to drop. If only that was the birdie putts on the first couple of holes, but it is what it is. Number 4, another one straight off the hill. We're finally heading down to the bottom of the property here. taking your driver off the tee. You got to fly it down a good 200 yards off the tee to get it down to the fairway. But once you do, it's going to be a long one all the way down into the green. It's sloping slightly down from the fairway into the green, about a half a club, maybe 5 yards-ish, I'd say. And this green is a nasty one, man. There's a crazy little diagonal spine running all the way through it that just kind of sections it off into quadrants. And with all 4 bunkers around, there's just plenty of trouble to gobble up your approach shot. And as you can see here, you're just hitting it into the sky. Now, straight off in the distance, way off there on a super clear day, you can see downtown LA about 25-30 miles away. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's just how hazy we typically have it here in LA. It's actually a really nice clear day the day I was able to record this round. That was not a good shot here, leaving myself in the bunker, and oh my gosh, I forgot about this whole location. It was nasty down on the front lip here, right on that spine I'm talking about. I couldn't get that bunker shot to stop on the green, and I'm just going to have to lag this one on up there, and oh man, I guess I could have made the putt for par, but it's going to be the first bogey of the day, and we're on to the toughest par 3 on the entire golf course. 240 yards from the black tees, and there's overhanging trees to prevent anybody from hitting a draw into this green. So you're going to have to hit the cut, and hopefully you'll be able to fly it up there onto this multi-tiered green. I think there's 3 or 4 tiers up there. A solid green here, and if you miss left, it's down into oblivion. And y'all want a tour of oblivion? Well, here's what it looks like. You got a wall of grass in front of you, a solid 15 to 20 feet up to the green. Luckily, I was able to get this one up and on the right tier. A shot at par here, and I just can't get it there. I mean, any putt left short is not going to go in. We know that is a fact. A long 500-yard par 4 here is going to start a string of tough holes here on 6, 7, and 8. The split fairway here gives you some options off the tee. If you can fly it over the bunker on the left, it's going to give you a nice flat fairway down there and a good angle into this green. Now, the main fairway on the right-hand side is just fine, and it's plenty flat to deal with. And ultimately, you just don't want to be in that finger of rough down the middle because it's sloped severely, as the fairway on the right-hand side is about 8 to 10 feet taller than the one on the left. Coming over this gorge of grass here into the green, a solid chipping area on the right might feed your ball down into the green. Two really good shots are necessary here to get home in 2, and I striped this tee shot right down the middle, which was horrible because it was on this strip of rough and the ball was way above my feet. And with that ball above your feet, man, sometimes you're just going to overcook it to the left. It landed just over the bunker here in the rough, and I'm going to have to get another one up and down here for par. Now that's one of those up and downs that'll really keep a round going. This is a tough front 9, and it's always beating me down as I'm playing it, especially here into the par 4 7th hole. It's another brutally tough, long par 4, wrapping all the way around here, snaking through all these bunkers. It's also uphill and around the corner. Get your tee shot plenty around the corner, and you'll open up into this tiny little green suspended on the edge of the hill. Now, after hitting a cut nearly all day, I'm going to have to turn this one over. I was able to get her to do so. A little bit too much, though, and ultimately it's going to bounce down into the left-hand trees, and oh my gosh, I just barely had a shot here. I was able to get a club on it and fly it all the way up to the green and just over the green here. It had a nasty downhill lie and just trying to get some sort of a club on it, and I I did that just fine. Hit it right through the camera's legs and down into the rough here. And then I nearly chipped it in for par. That's just sometimes the way the cookie crumbles. No putter necessary. A comfy tap-in bogey. It's not ideal. All right, finally onto a reachable par 5 here. Only 516 yards from the tips. It's playing slightly up the hill, so probably 530 totally adjusted here. Feed your driver down between all the trouble here and just make sure you don't land it in the bunkers. Those things are deep and are going to just make you gouge it out, and you're not going to be getting it anywhere near the green. Coming into the green, just thread it through the bunkers once again. Don't leave it short right in that second trap. That was just nasty down there. Now, I brought the cutback for this tee shot. I was feeling a lot more comfortable with it, and I landed it just short of those fairway bunkers here in a very playable lie. Able to get a good number here with my 5-iron, and let's see if we can cook it all the way up there. You can see the fairway underneath me is a hard Bermuda. This stuff goes dormant most of the year, and the golf course plays really hard and fast. But then when you get up here around the green, it's plenty seeded and plenty watered, so it's nice and fluffy. Some different types of Kikuyu and Bermuda kind of all interlaced amongst one another up there. Not a good chip shot there, but I am underneath the hole, so let's see if we can do something with it. Now, all in all, we're going to leave it there nice and close for another comfy tap-in par. Now, this 9th hole, I featured it here on the channel before, but seeing it from above is really going to tell the tale. Only 137 to the middle, it can play up to 160 to the back, or 110 to the front. It's a giant green and really, really slender. Now, 157 yards to the back stick, it was playing into the wind, so I took that 8-iron, and the wind didn't do anything with it. So it soared right over the green and here into the bushes. Gonna have to chip it out onto the world's tiniest green, well, at least the world's tiniest green section back here on the back of the hole. And at least I got to look at it here for par. Let's see if we can make anything of it. No birdies on the front 9 again here at Industry Hills. This is a really, really tough golf course. And 4 over par on the front 9, I mean, to be honest, I'm just trying to break 80 out here. Let's see if we can do so on the back 9. We'll catch you all next week. Later.